I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Village Board for January 17, 2023. Would you please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Village Clerk, would you please call the roll?
President DeSimone?
Here.
Trustee Franz? Here. Trustee Fry?
Here.
Trustee Lomax?
Here.
Trustee Penicola?
Here.
Trustee Perez?
Here.
That's 6.
At this time, we'll move to public comment. Does anyone wish to address the board? And if so, please approach the podium and state your name.
Yes, we have 3. The first one is Mr. DeMichael. He asked if he could sit at the back.
Thank you.
The microphone might not pick you up back there, just so you know.
Well, I'll be as loud as.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
This is so short.
Sorry.
Last time I talked about the change of the village manager's contract, where he was not required to live in the village, but in any one of 6 counties. Since that time, he was scheduled to have an evaluation by January 1st, and I don't know if that was done, but if it wasn't done, he automatically got a 2.5% increase. That doesn't sound like much, but when you have a base of 200,000 as a real tax. I passed out some pictures, to the board
Yes.
members. I don't usually go around with a camera on that, but it just happened to be that day that I saw this. And the thing among Italians, getting vanity license plates, understand that. But now I think it's time that the board met the real village manager. Jay comes in once a week and does the heavy lifting. It would be nice if you brought him to the board meeting and introduced him to the board, and they could understand where some of these issues are coming from. That's the end of my speech.
Thank you.
The next one that we have is Valerie Special.
Hi, guys. It's been a while. Just a little quick thing. I received an email newsletter today. Had a very truthful statement in it. I'm going to quote it for you, okay? Political figures and their associates that make deals, hide facts, or enrich themselves behind closed doors are not the type we should have in office. With that said, upon the past review of the past CDC variances and petitions granted, there seems to be a relationship between contributions and those proposed applications. Our community really needs trustees that are going to do their research to ensure ethical behavior.
Thank you.
Mr. Chris McCullough?
My name is Dr. Chris McCullough. I'm a resident of 829 Brentwood Drive in Bensenville. I'm also president of the school board. I'm here representing myself, not the school board. We have a commitment with Jay Delacondro to serve as a consultant with the Village of Bensenville. I guess he's a consultant because he's the president of Westbrook Strategic Consultants. I can only locate 2 references regarding Mr. Delacondro's work in Bensenville since 2018. The first is from a letter in the 2018 Village of Bensenville annual budget that's dated 2017. Mr. Evan Summers, our village manager, and Mr. Amit Thacker stated, "I'm thankful for our village consultant, Jay Delacondro, in providing critical support for construction of this budget." A FOIA request fulfilled on May 4, 2022 includes information concerning Mr. Delacondro's work within the village. Included in the FOIA request is a series of emails related to Mr. Summers' amended contract with the village that added the provision that Mr. Summers may reside outside of the Village of Bensenville. A plethora of emails concerning this matter were exchanged between Mr. Summers and Mr. Delacondro on June 4, 2022. The decision made by the village president and the trustees to permit this arrangement is detrimental to the community, as the village manager should be a member of the community, and the position is compensated sufficiently that this should be a reasonable expectation. Mr. Delacondro worked with the Administration and Legislation Committee, which met for the final time on June 20, 2017. That committee has dissolved. Every month, Westbrook Strategic Consultants submits a nondescript invoice in the amount of $3,750 to the village. What services are being provided? Why is there no transparency? This is a fixed fee amount that the trustees agree to pay every month by approving the warrant that is presented at each meeting. Never are there any questions from anyone ever. Never. I'm a nice guy until someone harms my family, my friends, and the people of our community that I care about. So now it's time to call this what it is. You, the trustees, are all bobbleheads that are deeply entrenched in an incestual relationship with the village president and each other. You live in fear that any action taken out of lockstep with your colleagues will result in retribution. And guess what? You're all right. You are all exactly right. And to you, it is not a concern, given the living arrangements and financial ties that some of you have, and the inconsequential nature that some of you experience of decisions this government makes given those arrangements. This needs to stop. The people of Bensenville work hard. I work hard. Stop fleecing me. And stop fleecing the people of Bensenville, all in the interest of enriching a political committee. Since a contract between Westbrook Strategic Consultants and the Village of Bensenville is not readily available, I investigated the possible relationship between Mr. D'Alessandro and the village. To abbreviate, clearly, all he is a mentor to Mr. Summers, our village manager, and if we need a mentor to our village manager, then it seems to me that we need a new village manager. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else?
No.
This concludes public comment. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the December 13th, 2022 Village Board meeting?
You have a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any modifications to the minutes? Please call the roll.
Trustee Franz. Yes. Trustee Fry.
Yes.
Trustee Lomax.
Yes.
Trustee Panicola.
Yes.
Trustee Perez.
Yes.
That's 5.
Motion carries and the minutes are approved. The next item of business is to approve the warrant amount of $6,386,600.67. Is there a motion to approve the warrant?
We have a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussions on this warrant? Please call the roll.
Trustee Franz.
Yes.
Trustee Fry.
Yes.
Trustee Lomax.
Yes.
Trustee Panicola.
Yes.
Trustee Perez.
Yes.
That's 5.
Motion carries and the warrant is approved. There are no items on the consent agenda. Under administration is a resolution endorsing the DMMC Legislative Action Program, LAP, for 2023. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
You have a motion?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Thank you, Your Honor. This is the Legislative Action Plan from the DuPage Mayors and Managers Conference. This is the annual resolution we do that throws our support behind the initiatives that DMMC is going to undertake down in Springfield this legislative session. As with most years, the key issues remain financial sustainability, public safety, and local authority. This year, there have been some changes on what we're working on specifically under that. Under local authority is to create parity on some of the non-home rule issues, and public safety is to help clean up a lot of the Safety Act language that remains lingering out there. We're working in concert with several other legislative action groups to get that done.
Any questions from the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Franz.
Yes.
Trustee Fry.
Yes.
Trustee Lomax.
Yes.
Trustee Panicola.
Yes.
Trustee Perez.
Yes.
That's 5.
Motion carries and the resolution is approved. Under Community and Economic Development, there's an ordinance approving the extension of a ground lease of the village property located at 540 County Line Road with MTR for a term of 6 months. Is there a motion to approve this ordinance?
You have a motion?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Being a motion and a second, do we have discussion?
Mr. Posgay.
Yeah, so the village owns the property at 540 County Line Road. MTR has been leasing this from us. They are in the process of expanding their lot. They recently purchased. That development hasn't started yet, so we are requesting an extension of their current lease. It is backdated to October 20th, which is when the lease expired, so it'll only be extended through April 20th of 2023.
This is just a creative way that we can use some surplus property we have to help an existing Bensenville business expand.
Any questions from the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Franz.
Yes.
Trustee Fry.
Yes.
Trustee Lomax.
Yes.
Trustee Pena Cola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's five.
Motion carries and the ordinance is passed. 2 is a resolution in support of tax increment financing. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Being a motion and a second, is there any discussion?
Mr. Pose?
Yeah, so the Illinois General Assembly has considered several changes to the TIF laws in recent years. Bensenville currently has 5 active TIF districts, and the Illinois Municipal League has been working on behalf of municipalities to basically ensure that we can still utilize TIF districts in the same capacity. So this is a resolution basically coming from the Illinois Municipal League that we would support TIF in its current form, and then we'll send it down to the Illinois Municipal League to use in their fight for tax increment financing legislation.
I think TIFs get a bad rap from our neighbors to the east in the city of Chicago. I think in Bensenville, we do TIF right. Just this year, we retired our Heritage Square TIF, which returned a windfall of money to the overlying taxing bodies, including the Bensenville Park District, both Bensenville School Districts, and our Library District. So it's a success story that we can be proud of, and we're going to continue to do that with the remainder of our TIFs. We're not looking to extend these TIFs. We're looking to return that increment back to the taxing bodies.
Any questions from our board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Pena Cola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's five.
Motion carries, the resolution is approved. Under finance, a resolution authorizing the village manager the authority to execute a cyber liability policy recommended by Alliant Insurance Services Incorporated in the not to exceed amount of $35,000. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
You have a motion?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Being in a motion and a second, do we have discussion?
I'll start off this one, Julie. If you need to add anything I forgot, go ahead. Cyber insurance is a growing expense for the village. It's almost a quarter of all cyber attacks are occurring on local governments nationwide right now. So it's an area of vulnerability. We have a 3-pronged approach to fighting cyber crimes. 1 is training our employees. 2 is having our hardware services and networked appropriately so to give us the best defense. And the third, and hopefully pillar we don't have to use, is our insurance policies. That would provide us financial recovery tools to regain access to our system if it was ever compromised. This insurance policy has doubled in expense over last year, and that is after our insurance brokers went out and got numerous quotes. That's in relation to the elevated number of crimes that continue to occur in the cyberspace. So this policy adequately covers us. We do think that this should be plateauing as an expense for us. We think that the insurance companies have got their arms around it, but tonight's resolution allows me to execute that agreement. Julie, did I forget anything? Thank you.
Any questions from the board? Call the roll.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Pena Cola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's five.
Motion carries, resolution is approved. Going on to Public Works, is an ordinance of the Village of Bensenville, DePage, and Cook County, Illinois, approving a license agreement for use of Village Water Tower by Elmhurst Community Unit School District 205. Is there a motion to approve this ordinance?
You have a motion?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Being a motion, the second, is there any discussion?
I'll take this one. Elmhurst School District 205 did approach the village requesting use of our water tower to put up basically some Wi-Fi antennas. These would service some areas that don't have the ability or the capabilities of providing good, affordable access to Wi-Fi. Some of the residents of Bensenville do belong to School District 205, so this would be a great opportunity for us to get together with another taxing body to solve a problem together. So our legal counsel put together a license agreement. The school district has reviewed it. It's a 5-year term with 3 automatic renewing terms. We do have the ability to back charge the school district for electricity if we see the electricity starting to rise because of their antennas. But we believe this is a great intergovernmental type agreement that really promotes using our abilities to use our assets with other communities.
This would benefit some of our lower income apartments, so it's really kind of trying to address that digital divide that we're constantly talking about.
Any questions from the board? Call the roll.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Pena Cola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's five.
Motion carries and ordinance is passed. 2 is a resolution authorizing the closeout of motor fuel tax funds to pay for roadway-related general maintenance in the amount of $74,344.96 from January 1, 2021 to December 31st, 2021. Is there a motion to approve?
You have a motion?
Do I have a second?
You have a second?
Being a motion and a second, do we have discussion?
So these next three items all have to do with our annual MFT allocations that we do each year. This is the closeout of actually our general maintenance contract or MFT funds from 2 years ago, finally getting through with IDOT on some of our paperwork. We authorized $90,000 worth of work. This was our annual patching program and our sidewalk program. During the 2021 season, we only spent just under $75,000 of that. By approving this resolution, we will go ahead and send that to IDOT so that the balance can be repurposed back into our MFT funds for future use.
Any questions from the board? Call the roll.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Pena Cola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 5.
Motion carries, the resolution is approved. 3 is a resolution to appropriate the use of motor fuel tax MFT funds to pay for roadway-related general maintenance in the amount of $300,000 from January 1st, 2023 to December 31st, 2023. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Do we have discussion?
This is our 2023 allocation, so we're planning on going forward with a $200,000 patching program, which is double what we typically would do, as well as a $100,000 sidewalk program, which is double what we used to do. The reason why we're doing that this year is because of the contracting climate last year and the construction climate. We chose not to do a sidewalk program, and we kind of scaled down our patching program in hopes of better bidding this year. So this would be our allocation of $300,000, and we'll close this out when we finish our projects at the end of the year.
Any questions from the board? Call the roll.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Pena Cola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 5.
Motion carries and the resolution is approved. A resolution to appropriate the use of motor fuel tax MFT funds to pay for the 2023 MFT Village Street Improvement Program in the amount of $1,668,500. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
You have a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Being a motion and a second, do we have discussion?
So this is our last one for tonight. This is actually appropriating MFT funds to do a construction project this year. It's our annual street program. Every 3 or 4 years, we actually use MFT funds as we start to build up our bank to do our our street resurfacing program. This year's program is going to include the resurfacing of Jacqueline Drive from Dennis to Diana, Pamela Drive from Dolores to Diana, Diana Court from Pamela to Brentwood, Gloria Jean from Diana to the end of the cul-de-sac, also John Street from George to the north end, and Washington Street from Church to York. The $1.668 million cost does include the cost of construction engineering on this one. We anticipate a March letting. Our contract plans are just about complete, and they're in IDOT's hands for approval. We're looking at, like I said, March letting and a probable project timetable of April through June.
Any questions from the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Pena Cola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 5.
Motion carries and the resolution is approved. 5 is a resolution authorizing the execution of a professional engineering services contract with MDS Technologies Incorporated of Park Ridge for the 2023 pavement evaluation study in the not-to-exceed amount of $21,345. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
You have a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Being a motion and a second, is there any discussion?
So every 3 years, we hire a contractor to perform our pavement evaluation study. The purposes of the study is really to grade every one of our streets on a scale of 1 to 100. This is a federal requirement in order to receive federal grant funds for our roadway projects. MDS Technologies has been doing this project for us for the last 12 years. They basically take the Google approach where they have a camera-mounted vehicle that drives through town, takes video and pictures of our roadways. They bring it back to their offices, evaluate on a national program called MicroPaver, and then once they have all the results and the data, they will upload that into our asset management software. So the cost of this contract is $21,345, and it is staff's recommendation for approval.
Any questions from the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Pena Cola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 5.
Motion carries and resolution is approved. 6 is a resolution authorizing the approval of final balancing change order number 1 with Girardi Sewer and Water Company for the 2022 Village Water Main Improvement Project for an increase of $25,156.68 for a revised final contract amount of $1,446,543.08. Is there a motion to approve?
You have a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Being a motion and a second, Joe, discussion?
Yep, so our project was completed late last year. We finally came to agreement on all of the contract quantities with Girardi Sewer and Water. The project consisted of water main replacement on roadways up in the north residential area of Medina, Brookwood, and Glendale. These were all between Marshall and Eastview. As it was stated in the resolution, we had about a $25,000 increase in the project. That was a 1.76% increase. And that was due to some unforeseen things that we found in the field, a couple of emergency water main breaks that we had put on the contractor to do, as well as some credits for the unit prices that we bid on the project. So overall, 1.76 increase. Staff's recommendation is to approve.
Questions from our board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Pena Cola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 5.
Motion carries and resolution is approved. 7 is a resolution authorizing the execution of a contract with Empire Construction Company for the Senior Center Construction Project in the not-to-exceed amount of $812,500. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
Have a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Being a motion and a second, is there any discussion?
So I'm very excited and pleased to recommend approval of this construction project. This is something we've been working on for the last couple of years. It's for our senior and community center, which will be constructed here in the lower floor of Village Hall. This new center will provide a place for our residents to gather, have meetings, classes, social gatherings, and our monthly senior banquets. The center will be located, as I mentioned, in the lower floor. It's going to consist of a large dividable, large meeting / banquet room that can hold up to about 150 guests. A second separate meeting room that'll hold up to about 30 people, a lounge, a warming kitchen, and also a staff office. In order to provide some of the space on that lower level, we do have to relocate our multimedia department to the upstairs, move a couple of conference rooms and things like that. So there will be some activity here up on the second floor of Village Hall as well. We opened 9 bids on December 21st. Empire Construction Company was the lowest of those 9 bids in the amount of $812,500. If you recall, funding for this project is coming through a Representative Willis grant through the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. It was a $1.18 million grant. That money will pay for the construction as well as the design and the construction engineering. So we're very hopeful to get this project started in the upcoming weeks and with a completion date right now of June 23rd of this year.
I do also just want to commend the board. If you recall, we actually went out to bid for the senior center once before and rejected those bids because they came in too high. That was somewhat of a gamble, but it looks like the gamble paid off. And now we're almost the same amount under budget that we were over budget previously. So I think that was just good timing on everyone's part. Looks like the contractors were hungry to do some winter work and keep their crews busy. So good job on that. Thank you for the foresight.
Any questions from our board? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Pena Cola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 5.
Motion carries and the resolution is approved. 8 is a resolution waiving competitive bidding and authorizing a purchase order to Terry's Ford of Peatone, Illinois, for the purchase of 1 public works vehicle in the not-to-exceed amount of $46,653. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
So
Yeah.
moved.
Do I have a second?
You have a second?
Being a motion and a second, do we have discussion?
So as we discussed in an earlier meeting, procuring vehicles in this day and age is not what it used to be. Obviously, supply and demand, material shortages, chip shortages have really put a lot of difficulty in purchasing vehicles. Our state purchase programs are non-existent, our government discounts are not there. We're even being told by the manufacturers that we are being allocated a certain number of trucks that we can actually purchase from them from year to year. So we are basically on the same market as the ordinary person trying to buy vehicles. What we have done is we've reached out to a number of different dealerships trying to find the vehicles that best fit what we had budgeted for. We were lucky enough to find a 2022 Ford F-50 that was all prepared for a plow package, which we'll put on it after market. The cost of this was $46,653. As we mentioned in our previous meeting, we'll search for those costs that can beat MSRP. This is about $1,000 under MSRP for the vehicle. We have taken delivery of the vehicle and are looking for ratification of the purchase order that we used to purchase it.
Any questions from our board? Call the roll.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Pena Cola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 5.
Motion carries, the resolution is approved. 9 is a resolution authorizing the execution of a change order number 1 with Stewart Spreading Incorporated for an increase of $14,000 for the extension number one of the 2020-2021 sludge hauling contract for a revised contract cost of $129,000. Is there a motion to approve?
Need a
Do
motion.
I have a second?
Second.
Being a motion and a second, Joe, we have discussion on our sludge.
Yep, our last two items relate to our favorite annual discussion about sludge at our wastewater treatment plant. The first one will be our final closeout of the 2022 contract with Stewart Spreading. Our costs were about $14,000 over what we had budgeted for last year. Most of that was due to a fuel surcharge that was imposed on our contract after we awarded the contract due to the fuel issues at the beginning of the year. Some of our earlier invoices that we got from them were much more significantly impacted than our latter ones. They basically will take the fuel from the Opus rack rate on the date that they come out here and do our sludge hauling and compare that with our original contract pricing from day one of our contract, and there's a 5% increase surcharge on that. So we've been seeing a lot of that industry-wide. That was the purpose of most of our increases this year. And so we are looking to approve change order in the amount of $14,000 for an updated cost of $129,000 for the year.
Any questions from our board? Call the roll.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Pena Cola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's five.
Motion carries and the resolution is approved. 10 is a resolution authorizing the execution of extension number 2 with Stewart Spreading Incorporated for sludge hauling and land application in a not to exceed amount of $140,000. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Being a motion and a second, do we have discussion?
So our original 2020 contract was a 2-year contract with Stewart Spreading, and it had the opportunity for 2 one-year extensions. We did execute extension number 1 in 2022, and we're looking to execute extension number 2, our final extension on this contract here in 2023. The annual increase was agreed upon this was 2 weeks ago, agreed upon to not exceed 10% or the CPI, whichever is less. We just found out yesterday that the CPI for this industry for last year was at 4.5%, so we're gonna have a 4.5% increase instead of the 10% that's in front of you. We're still looking to approve a contract in the amount of $140,000 to accommodate for this increase and our sludge loading for the 2023 season.
Any questions from our board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Pena Cola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's five.
Motion carries. Resolution is approved. Couple remarks for village president announcements. The holiday light recycling program will continue until the end of February. All light strands, broken or working, will be accepted. Recycling boxes are located at Village Hall and the Public Works Building during normal business hours. Please see the village website for more information. Our 2023 senior lunches have begun on the first Tuesday of each month for Bensonville residents. All lunches are currently being held at Green Street Grill, 120 West Green Street. The cost is $5. Doors open at 10 a.m. and lunch is served at 11 a.m. Please call the senior hotline at 630-350-3426 for more information. The next lunch is February 7th. Pardon our dust, because our construction will begin next month in Village Hall for the new senior center that will be located on the lower level of the Village Hall. I will be sure to give construction updates once we start the project. That will conclude village president's reports. Do we have village manager report?
Thank you, Your Honor. I just want to give 2 start of the year updates on some of the policy initiatives that we've been working on. The first one being an update on the CP merger. If you guys recall, CP is acquiring Kansas City Southern. Currently, the Surface Transportation Board is reviewing that merger. While we fully expect that merger to be approved, we are hoping that conditions will be placed on it that will help mitigate the impact to our residents. As you recall, we're looking at an over 300% increase on freight traffic on our line right here in downtown. It's going to impact everybody between here and Elgin. So we've teamed up together to split those costs. And like I said, Q1 of 2023, we should have a decision on what that's going to look like. So fingers crossed and pray to the gods of trains. Secondly is the Fly Quiet program. So the Chicago Department of Aviation finally submitted their the plan that we approved for the runway rotation plan at nighttime to the FAA. That will be a very long review process. We're looking at least a year, maybe 2 years for the FAA to review it and then to implement it afterwards. We're very happy with the plan that was put forward. It's a solid plan. I think it will get passed. It's just going to be a bureaucratic mess as we navigate through the FAA. So once that's implemented, I really think it will be beneficial. It's just going to take some time. And so it's out of our hands. It's at the FAA, and we'll continue to work with our legislators at the federal level to get that moving. That concludes my report, Mr. President.
You have a village attorney's report?
I have no report, Mr.
Is there any unfinished business to come before the board tonight? Any new business to come before the board tonight? Do we have need for executive session?
There is no need, Mr.
Is
President.
there a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Pena Cola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's five.
Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.